This is my demo of how to download and play my expanded Atton Romance mod on mobile. I'm just going to be working from the instructions here at the KOTOR community portal, and specifically this KOTOR 2 full build mobile version. And the links to this and all of the other sites and whatnot that I'm going to be referencing are going to be posted in the description. I'm not going to go into too much detail here because it's really all in the website and I'm just working from their instructions. But just for folks who find it easier to watch visually and see the steps being done, if there's any confusion, I wanted to make this option. So I'm going to scroll down first to the mobile version of the Sith Lords Restored Content mod, which is a huge mod that fixes a lot of stuff that the original game had partially completed but weren't able to finish on time. And it also includes some great new Atton stuff. And my mod does require this to be downloaded first. And this mod is going to give us all of the folders that we're then going to move onto either your Android device or we're going to do via iTunes to move onto an iPhone or an iPad. So we'll come to the mobile version specifically. And this is on Deadly Stream, which is a KOTOR modding and gaming site with lots of great resources. We're going to come over here to the blue button. You're probably going to be seeing a lot more ads. If you want to get rid of them, you can just make a free account on Deadly Stream and then you won't see them. But we're just going to navigate to this blue button for download that file. And while we're here, we're also going to download a few other things. In the instructions, it'll explain the concept of this edible executable, which is effectively a fake version of the game we're going to put on into that mod file so that all of the other mods we want to install can install to it nice and simple. So once again, coming over that blue button, download this file. We are also going to download my mod itself, the expanded Atton Romance mod. If there are other mods that you want to include as well, there are kind of some specific orders that you're going to want to do some of them in. This mod build has a whole description along the side here for just the titles, or you can scroll through the whole page to see all of the different mods that are known to be able to work together. And you can see where they're linked to and the descriptions of them and figure out which ones you want to play with. A couple that I really like and I always use are Remote Tells Influence, which lets you see how much influence you have over the different characters. Party Swap, which gives you another companion instead of one of them being gender locked, depending on what your player character is. And quite a few others in there, including a cool one, Atton Rand with Scruff, which gives him a little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow that I tend to like. And you can just install them in the order as it goes down the page. You don't have to install all of the mods. You can pick and choose which ones you want and just follow the instructions and do them in the order they're presented there. My mod doesn't change most of the same files. So anytime you can usually use it. The only exception is if you do want to use, if you want to play my mod with a male character, you currently can get all of my added content with a male PC, no problem. I did not include any gender checkers, but the base flirting that Atton does in-game is gender locked. So if you want to get the full effect, you would want to download Leelikin's Atton Rand and Male Exile Romance. And you just need to download that anytime after, or you'll install that anytime after my mod has already been installed. Because her mod is going to make a few small tweaks to the same files that I use. Once we have all of those downloaded, we can swap to coming over and finding them. And ignore the fact that it's taken me several times to record this video, so I've downloaded them a lot. First, we're going to start with the restored content mod. So we're going to extract it. And again, all of the instructions are in the guide here if you find that easier. And we're not going to actually use the installation instructions that come with this because we're going to be adding additional mods as well. But effectively, the restored content mod is creating this downloadable content folder that we're eventually going to drop into either on Android into your files or for iOS using iTunes into the files through that. And so we're going to come in, we're going to delete all of the other languages that we do not need. My mod is only available in English because I don't speak any other languages well enough to do the same audio editing in them. And now here within mods English, I'm going to open it again. And this is where we're going to need to make a fake game. So all of the other installers know where to put all of the files. Pretty much every mod that you get is going to have files that they will drop into these different folders. So Override is going to have a bunch of different files for everything from the dialogue files, how like your quests and whatnot are altered. Stream Voice is where we're going to put all of the new audio as well. And so it's a lot easier to download things using an installer, and that's what a lot of the larger mods kind of require. But in order to do that, we need to put in that editable executable. If you don't have an unzip program, the one that I was recommended was WinRAR, and that's worked fine for me. Because you can't use just the regular extract on it. But go in. I'm just going to open that. We're going to take that file and we're just going to drag it and drop it into our mods English folder. And that's it. That's all you have to do. It's very easy. Now we're going to unzip my Atton Romance mod. And it uses an installer. So we're just going to click on that. And we need to figure out where on our PC our mods English folder is. Since we didn't move it from anywhere, and you could put it to your desktop, to that folder to your desktop to make it easier. But mine is still in my downloads folder. So we're going to come to that starting folder that we have of the MTSL-RCM, the downloadable content folder, and the mods English, because inside that folder is where we have that editable executable we just put. I'm going to click OK, and it moves all of those files over to exactly the correct places. So it's finished. We're all good. And we can hit exit. And that's it. That is now done. This pops up sometimes and it lies, just ignore that. So if those are the only mods that you want to do, you're pretty much all set. But since we already have this set up, it's pretty easy to add additional mods. They're just going to follow that same process. The general rule is if two mods change the same files, they might have problems. All of the mods on the mod build are designed to work together. If you're going to be adding in mods that aren't, then you have to be a little more careful about what modifies what. And so, for example, if you're using the for a male player character, you are going to want to follow the instructions for installation, in that it needs to be downloaded. If you're going to also use Party Swap, you need to download it after. Here it is under mod compatibility. It walks you through that you have to install this mod after Party Swap in order to get all of the content. And so if you just read through the descriptions on the different mods, they'll often tell you if things play well with other mods, if a compatibility patch is needed, things like that. So depending on which mods you choose, there are a couple of things you may have to do at the end. We're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom of the community portal page. TGA and TPC files are for the visuals in the game. I don't play with many mods that alter those, and so I've found I can skip this step because I'm not using any of those files. If you're picking any of the visuals mods and this, then you're definitely going to want to follow this step. You just follow the guide as written for running a script to delete duplicates of certain image file types. And again, they walk through the whole process there. If you're going to be doing this on iOS, so for iPad or iPhone, everything has to be lowercase. My mod is designed that way, as well as the restorable content mod on mobile. So if you're only downloading those two mods, just the restored content mod and only my expanded Atton romance mod, you can skip this step. Or if you're going on to Android, you don't have to worry about it either. If you did download any of the other larger mods, then you're going to want to follow the directions for this case sensitivity fix. Or if you just threw in like Atton Rand with Scruff, it's only like 3 loose files that you drop into override. You could go through and manually change all of the file names that you've changed into lowercase. Then we have the final installation instructions, where we're going to go to the override. If, again, you made any changes to the visuals, you'll want to check for those 2 files. And you will need to delete this executable before you run the iOS case sensitivity fix. I forgot to say that before, but I believe it's in the instructions. So we're just going to delete that. Now we're going to follow the instructions here on iOS and for Android. And I do not have an Android phone to demonstrate on, but I will show you on iOS. It's a very simple process. So we're going to open up iTunes. I'm going to plug in my device. And then you are going to need to open up your phone or tablet and unlock it, Touch ID, password, etc. Because then it knows that it is safe to let the computer make changes. Then go up to that rectangle there. I'm going to go down to file sharing, KOTOR 2. I already have my existing mod build on here. And what we would just do is we would delete if you had a previous build running. So this is a cool option if you want to try different mods that don't play well together. You can just download them, save them all on your computer in different folders. I have a whole bunch of different mod builds that when you open them up, they're all that downloadable content folder, but within that they have different mods and setups that I like. We would go to that mods English folder. We're just going to come up till we get to that DLC, and we will just drag and drop in. I'm not going to do that because I already have my mod build. We would drop it in. It would pop up with a little waiting thing. It'll slowly copy the files over. The more content that you put in, the larger file it is, so the longer it'll take. If you add in any of the new planet options, like the Coruscant Temple, or the Droid Planet, or some of the HD textural fixes, those might take longer as well. Then once it's all done, we are all good to go. You can disconnect and your device will be able to play all of those mods. So I know this went kind of fast, but again, all of the information and everything I learned from is all in that community portal page. Or if you have any questions, feel free to leave them as a comment on this video. Thank you so much for checking out my mod, and I hope this was helpful.